My name is Rohan Mehta. I grew up watching my parents run a small medical supply company out of a garage in Naperville, Illinois. Ordering the wrong inventory, missing tax deadlines, losing contracts because they couldn't afford the right software. That gap, that specific pain, it lived in me. By 32, I had a concept for a lightweight inventory and compliance platform built specifically for small healthcare vendors. Not a Silicon Valley moonshot. A real solution for people who looked like my dad. Exhausted, overlooked, and running on hope. Raymond Kowalski found me at a startup pitch event in River North. He'd founded and sold 2 mid-sized logistics companies. Real exits, real credibility. He introduced himself like he had all the time in the world, bought me coffee, and said he saw something in my pitch nobody else in that room caught. He became my mentor through the Chicago Founders Network. Every Tuesday for 18 months, we met. He pushed me to sharpen the deck, to tighten the TAM numbers, to think bigger. I trusted him completely. He reminded me of every teacher who ever believed in me. It started with a LinkedIn post. Raymond announced he was exploring an exciting new venture in healthcare supply chain technology. That was February. In March, he canceled 3 consecutive Tuesday sessions. Family stuff, he said, then a back issue, then a board commitment. I told myself it was nothing, but something sat wrong in my stomach. He'd been unusually interested in my go-to-market section the last time we met. Asked me to walk him through the customer acquisition model twice. Said he wanted to understand it deeply so he could make better introductions. I believed him. A college friend sent me a link with no message. Just the link. It was a press release from a new LLC called ClearPath MedOps, founded by Raymond Kowalski. The product description was my platform. Not inspired by it. It was mine. The 3 core modules. The compliance flagging logic. The vendor onboarding workflow I'd sketched on a napkin in front of him and then emailed him as a PDF. He'd even used one of my exact phrases, built for the vendors the industry forgot. I sat down on the floor. I actually sat down on the floor. My hands were shaking. I pulled every email, every shared file, every pitch deck version I'd ever sent him. Then I found ClearPath's investor one-pager. Someone had posted it in a startup forum asking if it was legit. I put them side by side. Slide architecture, identical. Market sizing figures, copied directly. Even my fictional pilot customer scenario, a family-run orthopedic supply company in the Midwest, was in his deck, reworded by one sentence. He hadn't just stolen the idea. He'd stolen the argument for the idea. Every word I'd used to make investors believe it was worth funding. This wasn't inspiration. This was a transcript. Here's what Raymond didn't know. 6 months before I ever showed him the full deck, I had filed a provisional patent on the core compliance flagging architecture with the USPTO. My IP attorney, a woman named Sandra Park, who my cousin used for her restaurant concept, had pushed me to do it early. I'd almost skipped it to save the $800. I didn't skip it. Now I called Sandra back. We documented everything. Timestamps on shared files, email chains, version histories. Then we found out Raymond had booked a launch event. A real one. A venue in the West Loop. Press invites, investors. I told Sandra, let him set the table. ClearPath MedOps launched on a Thursday evening in April at a venue called The Loft on Randolph. I did not attend as a guest. I was standing near the coat check in a blazer when Raymond stepped up to the podium to thank his investors and tell them about the future he'd built. He was 3 sentences into his remarks when our process server walked up the side aisle, excused himself past 2 guests, and handed Raymond a manila envelope. Federal civil complaint. Patent infringement. Unfair business practices. I watched Raymond's face go the color of old chalk. He stopped mid-sentence. The launch event collapsed that night. 3 of his lead investors pulled out within 48 hours once the complaint became public record. It's a federal filing. Anyone can search it. The Chicago Founders Network quietly removed him from their advisory board. A journalist who covered Midwest startups wrote a short piece asking why an experienced operator had structured his deck so similarly to a known pitch from a protege in his own mentorship circle. Raymond's attorney reached out about a settlement 4 weeks later. We negotiated a licensing agreement and a full attribution clause. He never admitted wrongdoing out loud. He didn't have to. I'm not going to tell you I forgave Raymond. I don't think forgiveness is owed to someone who made a calculated choice to steal from someone he claimed to believe in. What I'll tell you is this. The gap between the moment I saw that press release and the moment he was served on his own stage, that gap was mine. I controlled it. I used it. My platform is in beta now with 11 pilot customers, including a small orthopedic supply company in Naperville, Illinois. My dad's. The vendors the industry forgot didn't have to wait for Raymond Kowalski to remember them. They had me.
Like, subscribe, and comment your verdict below for more betrayal stories.